Good morning.
Welcome to our show. This is Marina Shepelsky, and nurse practitioner, immigration expert Ina Revutsky. Say hello, Ina.
Good morning, everyone. Happy 2025. It's our first live.
Happy New Year, everyone. May you all have a great and happy and successful new year, and may all of your immigration problems be resolved this year. So,
Um,
today's topic, just to get into what we're going to talk about today, is extreme hardship for U.S. immigration cases. I'm an immigration attorney for 21 years. Ina is an immigration expert. Her reports are used as evidence to help you win your immigration case, from asylum to waivers to VAWA to T visas, anything that has a humanitarian twist to it. Ina writes amazing reports that help us and other lawyers, even if you have another lawyer, not us, win immigration cases. So let's get into extreme hardship, because it is something that a lot of people have to file for, but they really don't understand those words. What do those words mean? So, first of all, what is extreme hardship? Extreme hardship is referred to the suffering that your qualifying relative, like if you're filing for a family petition, it's the petitioner and they're a US citizen or green card holder. If you're filing for cancellation of removal, it is the US citizen or green card holder, child, spouse, or parent. So that person who has already status in the United States, they're suffering if they have to follow you to your home country, is extreme hardship. So this is where we often need proof, right? So look, you filed a waiver. Your spouse is a citizen, or your child is a citizen, or your parent is a citizen. They need to prove that they have this extreme hardship. How do you prove it? You prove it by having a report from a psychiatric expert. You prove it by adding medical records from your regular doctor, like they have a heart problem or a kidney condition or cancer. You will need reports from those doctors in addition to the psychiatric report. If you have VAWA, you have to show that you yourself have the extreme hardship, actually, and what would happen to you if you had to go home. And this comes up in waivers, and it comes up in cancellation of removal. So for waivers, the extreme hardship is the showing that the spouse or the child or the parent, sometimes it's a brother or sister for waivers, would have to follow you to your home country and experience medical problems, mental problems, financial problems, cultural and educational problems. Maybe they won't be able to get the job that they have. And that will affect them mentally affect them. That's extreme hardship. We prove it by having a report. So, Ina, tell us some of the situations where you use your reports, your extreme hardship qualifications in real cases. Give us some examples.
so, just to kind of say this one more time, these are not just little stress situations. This is when somebody can't breathe, they can't stop thinking, their mind is going all the time, the person is experiencing real physical, emotional, psychological stressors because somebody's getting deported. Okay. Some of the cases we've dealt with, we recently did a case for a US citizen who was originally from Africa. His wife she received a letter that she was going to get deported. I don't know all the technical legal specifications in the letter, but the man was filing that he would be having extreme hardships. And there were two instances in that case. Number one, the man was illiterate. So she took care of everything for him because he came from a very poor African village. He never went to school. He didn't know how to read. He didn't know how to write. So his wife was taking care of all of that for him. And the second part to this report that we did, their children were born with a very rare genetic condition, and they had to eat a special diet, and they were also very allergic to aspirin. So whenever they traveled anywhere, they had to have a special diet and they had to have letters from their doctors that they couldn't be exposed to aspirin. So a case like that had a twofold complex review of the extreme difficulties that this US citizen man would have because he's illiterate. So his wife took care of everything. She scheduled our appointment. She provided all the documentation for us. We did the assessment. By the way, we do all assessments virtually. We're based in New Jersey, but we work with attorneys all over the United States. So this is one of the cases. Another case I had a little while ago. This was, by the way, the case that had a denial. So a US citizen was applying for his wife after she was denied. And this was, again, an extreme hardship case. Now, he had a big business here in the United States. She was working with him. She was also taking care of the home. She was taking care of everything. So this man basically worked all day and she took care of his children and his elderly mom, and she helped him in the business. And he was overwhelmed because she was going to get deported and, none of these pieces would work in his life. So she was allowing a US citizen to actually be successful in this country.
What if you're filing to legalize through cancellation or removal under 42B, which means you're an immigrant who's been in the States for over 10 years, and most likely you have US citizen children, and they're young, and they might have medical problems or not. Where can you help somebody that has kids who maybe don't have right now a medical problem?
So a problem doesn't have to be medical. It could be evaluated from the psychological standpoint. For example, if the kid is in a special honor programs, if your child attends school and they're doing exceptionally well here, they're in a specialty programs, they're winning a scholarship, and then you have to take them out of their familiar environment and you have to take them to your country of origin, Ukraine, Nigeria, places that would not be able to provide this for a child. Or let's say a kid is entering high school and they are stressed out and they're not fitting in with their friends and nobody likes them. And this kid would never survive outside of their environment that's familiar and stable. It would destabilize them. We write a psychological report that this child would suffer. I've written a report like that actually for a Ukrainian family. Her son was here in the US. She was facing deportation. It was a very complex case because the parents were divorced. The son didn't get along with his father. He was living with the mom. The mom was facing deportation. We did a very elaborate report where we explained that this kid is not gonna survive if she's deported, even though his father is in the United States. He had a difficult relationship with his father. So we actually got, that case got approved. So these are like simple emotional issues that we could talk about.
Yeah. So for cancellation or removal, you have to prove over 10 years physical presence, good moral character. Most people applying have never been arrested. They have good moral character. And you have to prove this kids or spouse or elderly parents would extremely suffer above normal, above average type of suffering if they have to follow you. This is where psychiatric expert report would be really helpful because you have to show exceptional and extremely unusual hardship. And that means emotional problems, medical problems, financial and cultural problems. And who better than to talk about how they would experience these emotional or cultural or educational problems than an expert who will talk to your US citizen child or spouse or parent and record what types of issues they would face in the home country from an expert perspective. Not just like somebody who's going to just say, well, they're going to have problems. Of course they're going to have problems. Everybody understands that. But actually diagnose the type of problems they would have. Explain how mentally, this would affect them. That would be super helpful, and it's going to help me. That's why I'm doing this show with Ina, because you guys don't even understand how helpful these reports are to the lawyer. You're making our job easier. and you're making the case much better by having this type of report. In addition to all the other things that we already have to do for your case, we have to do our job, let the expert do their job. I think we discussed all the things that we have to do. Extreme hardship comes up in waivers, it comes up in VAWA, it comes up in T visas, it comes up in U visas, and definitely my favorite kind of case, cancellation of removal, when you're legalizing after 10 years of no status in US through your kids or spouse or parents or citizens or green card holders. Give Ina a call. We will be happy to help you if you haven't started legalizing yet or taking over from another lawyer. You can work with Ina no matter what lawyer you have. You can work with us with any case anywhere in the United States. We're happy to help. Our information, as you can see, is on the bottom of your screen. Ina, do you want to add anything before we wrap up?
Well, just give us a call. The quickest way to reach us is actually going to our website, nursingthemind.com, and there's a little form. You could drop down, choose the type of case you have. We're very responsive. We love working with immigrants. We're able to help people in multiple languages. I have people that can do translation as long as you let us know what language. We use a language line, and we're more than happy to help you.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna let you all go. Have a great
Thank you.
time of week, whenever you're watching this. Speak to you soon. Happy 2025. Bye.
Take care. Bye.